Hi everyone, Nicholas here. Teach y'all something here a little bit here. In this lesson, we're going to just go a little bit reviewing on what we did on the last video. But before we start, please make sure you like the video, please. Subscribe to the channel, please. And y'all can also follow me on Instagram. Alright, so if you remembered on the last video, I've talked about all of those pronouns in Brazilian Portuguese. But in this video, we are just going to go over a little bit on something here that is the first person, second person, and third person. So what is that? So before I tell you all a little bit about what are the pronouns of those, I'm gonna have them written up there in a sec. It's just what the first person is refers to the speaker or to the person speaking. So for example, in Brazilian Portuguese, when you say the pronoun I and the pronoun we, those two pronouns are first person. But this one, when you say I, it's only a singular pronoun, which is a first person singular. So if it's I, then you would say that first person singular. Now if it's say nice, we went over about this accent here. You can go check out the other video as well about that. We went over that. But when we went over this one, we in Portuguese, nice. Nice. It's the first person plural, because if you look right here, there are S's at the end of those pronouns because those are all plurals. So meaning you don't use them in singular because it's more than one. Saying it if you're talking about multiple people, if there's more than one, it's plural. So you have an S at the end right there. So those are the two first person, but that's the singular one, and that's the first person plural. Alright, so second person plural. So the second person plural refers to the person that's being spoken to. So like tu, if you say tu in Brazilian Portuguese, tu, and like I said in the last video, it's only used on certain parts of Brazil. You don't really see a lot of people use this because in some parts of Brazil they don't use that. But a lot of people do use is this one right here. Você. Você. And there's an accent on that E right there. I went over on that on the last video if you want to check out. But we went over about this one, which is the second person singular pronoun that you use those. We refer those to... You would usually do that is when you're referring to the person being spoken to. Tu, which is the example that I gave you a little bit there, informal, second person and singular. And that would also be another singular one would be você. And then this one right here, if you look right here, this is the vocês. So you have an S at the end because it's a plural. So meaning, if you look all the way right here, this one is a plural version of it. And this is also voice. Same thing with that one up there. You would just use this one on certain parts of Brazil. We don't usually see people use this one a lot. We usually see people use this one, vocês. Because this one, only certain parts of Brazil would use that. But yeah, so that's the plural one. The second person plural, you would use this one. Vocês or voice, which is second person plural because there's an S at the end. We went over that on the last video. And then third person refers to the person or to a thing that is not directly involved in a conversation. Third person right here, if you remember on the last video we learned about this. And ele, ela, this would be singular, third person singular, because you would only use it if it's a singular person and there's no S at the end on this one because it's not a plural. But now if you're using a plural form of this, if it's more than one, third person plural, that would be eles if it's a male. But third person plural, you would have an S at the end. It would be eles, male of them, if it's only a group of male people, or mixed if it's male and female together, or elas. It's only for females. So you would use this one only for females down right here, elas, because you're referring to a female. So that's what pretty much I did talk about on the last video. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is, a little bit that I wanted just to go over a little bit. Just pretty much that, and you will understand why we would use all of those. Actually, I feel like we can maybe split this here a little bit on this video because we planned up to do this as well in the next upcoming day. Tomorrow, we're going to still be using those pronouns as well because tomorrow is going to be a video that's going to be coming up where we're going to be learning more a little bit on how we are going to use the pronouns and the verbs in Portuguese. But we are going to see about that that more tomorrow. But in this video, what I planned up to do, I feel like it might be just gonna have to be probably done at the screen, but this video we are going to learn about a few verbs here that we are going to be giving you an example, giving you a little bit of a warm-up of what to come in the next upcoming video. So that way, next video, we are going to already be prepared to do so. So, the first verb that we're going to be learning in this video, sing in Portuguese, cantar. Cantar. C-A-N-T-A-R. Cantar. Cantar. Alright, our next verb that we're going to learn in Portuguese, fly in Portuguese, voar. Voar. V-O-A-R. Voar. Voar. That's the verb to fly. Another verb that we're going to be learning here, study in Portuguese, estudar. Estudar. E-S-T-U-D-A-R. Estudar. Estudar. Alright, next verb we're going to learn, the verb of love in Portuguese, amar. Amar. A-M-A-R. Amar. Amar. Alright, and our next one here, play in Portuguese, brincar. Brincar. B-R-I-N-C-A-R. Brincar. Brincar. So, another one here, to speak in Portuguese, falar. Falar. F-A-L-A-R. Falar. So what's going to happen here is that we're going to be splitting this into 3 parts of the series. This is the first series that we're going to be doing yearly. It's going to be a little bit different here. It's because we usually do friends and family series during this month, but we have to first get to know a little bit of the verbs before we get to the upcoming video tomorrow. You're going to see what the video is going to be all about. But those verbs were because we are going to just realize at the end of each of those verbs, if you realize that there's an AR at the end, that's what we're going to be focusing on this next upcoming video. Is that I'm going to be just teaching y'all the beginner level of this on the AR, and then next year we're going to be doing ER, and then the year after that we're going to be IR. Those are the 3 series that are planned up for us to do of verbs, and it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to be teaching y'all next year on all of those verbs. For those videos that I do that, we're just going to do all something really interesting with those verbs that you're going to realize in the upcoming video. So the infinitive verbs, which represent the base form of the verb. So similar to love in Portuguese, the verb to love, when you say to love, a being of an infinitive. So those verbs involve something which is infinitive verbs, which is ended in certain letters and 2 letters at the end, which is going to be the basics of what's to come on the beginner and how to learn those verbs here. So for now, we're just going to just do that. Just pretty much that. Just all those verbs at the ARs in Portuguese. I recommend studying them first. Try to get all those done here, but I'm not going to be teaching all those verbs because it's going to be a big video. It's going to be a lot. We're not going to be here naming verbs. You're like, oh, it's that verb, and I might forget some, and it's going to be a video that's going to be a very time, so that's why we're not going to do that. So instead, I thought about picking 5 or 6 verbs on just this video to start off before we go to the upcoming video that we are going to be doing, and hopefully you would understand. But just please make sure y'all please like the video, please subscribe, and if you want to get, like I said, study all of those things as well, that would really be good as well. If you want to get a book and study, I can make more videos of doing verbs as well. I was thinking after this upcoming 3 series, we're going to maybe continue doing this, but on a form that we're going to be learning all of the verbs, which we are going to be maybe doing in about 3 years after we finished with this 3 sets of series of verbs. This series here is the AR series. The upcoming ones are going to be the ER, and the other one is going to be the IR. But after we do that, we can just do a few videos once in a while and learn all about those. But other than that, thanks for watching. Y'all can follow me on my Instagram, and I will see you all in the next video.